Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is reflection of light, we were talking about some terms which is related to that of the reflection of light, students. You see, we have seen the plane mirror, we have seen the properties which is related to that of the plane mirror, as well as we have seen that what are the different uses of that of the plane mirror. Then we have started with that of the spherical mirror, and we tried to understand that what is a curved or spherical mirror, students. There are few terms which is related to that of the spherical mirror, which we had discussed already. Like the first one that we have seen is spherical mirror is what? It is basically a curved mirror which is divided into two, that is concave and convex mirror. Concave mirror is that which is a bent end portion, and the convex is the bulges out. The reflecting surface is the bulges out portion of the mirror, of the curved mirror. Then we have also seen here, students, and that is the first one is the center of curvature. So what do we understand by center of curvature? It is actually the center of the hollow sphere of the glass through which mirror has been taken, or through which the mirror is a part. Then radius of the curvature is what? That is the radius of that of the hollow sphere of the glass of which the mirror is a part. Then there is another term that we call as pole, which is represented by capital P, and this is what? This is the center of the mirror. The mirror, the portion that we have taken, either a concave or convex mirror. When we talk about the center of curvature, student, here, in case of a concave mirror, center of curvature is in front of it. And when we see that of the convex mirror, the center of curvature is at the back side. Then we have also seen that is the aperture. What is the aperture? Aperture is actually the total reflecting surface of the mirror is the aperture. Okay. So these are the few things, and one more thing, that is principal axis. So principal axis is what? It is a straight line which passes through that of the center of curvature to the pole of the mirror. That is called as the principal axis. We have also seen, students, that is how the principal focus is formed. Okay, how it is formed off. So basically, in case of a concave mirror, students, let me draw it again. For a concave mirror, we have seen that this is the principal axis. So when a parallel beam of a light which is close to the axis, when it falls on the surface of the concave mirror, then what happened? A ray of a light also passes through the principal axis. This is the center of curvature. So what will happen? They all meet at a point after reflection. And this point where they meet, students, after reflection is the principal focus. Okay. So this is what? This is in the case of the concave mirror. We can take an example, the use of a concave mirror. When you will take a concave mirror and keep it in outside, and you will adjust the concave mirror and take a piece of a paper also. Now what you will find? You will find that the light which is coming through that of the sunlight, it will fall on the concave mirror surface and it will get reflected back on the piece of the paper. Now what you have done, you just adjust the concave mirror in such a way that all the ray of a light will, or the maximum amount of a light will fall on the plane of the, on the piece of the paper. Now what will happen when you will do this continuously by adjusting the concave mirror in such a way that a maximum amount of a light will get reflected by it, you will find that after a few interval of a time, the piece of the paper starts burning at a place, and there you will find a hole get developed because of the burning. So why does it happen? Because it takes the beam of light and converges it at a point. And this is what? This is the principal focus. Okay, so principal focus is formed when a beam of a light falls on the concave mirror and it gets reflected back and converges and meet at a point. And because of this nature only, this mirror is also called as a converging mirror. I would also told you about another concept, and that is the concept of a focal length. So this time I will go to show you the focal length is what? The distance between the focus and that of the pole is called as the focal length. And here focal length, it is represented by small f. Capital F, principal focus, and small f is the focal length. Focal length is the distance from the focus to that of the pole of the mirror is the focal length, students. Okay. Okay. Now here the kind of a focus, principal focus has been formed in that of a concave mirror. You know that since actually the ray of a light are passing through that of the principal axis, or they meet, actually they intersect. Actual intersection has been taken place. So what kind of a focus is formed here? So we will say a real focus is formed. Real focus is formed in a concave mirror, students. Okay. So we have already knew about the real means what? Where the intersection of actual intersection, or where the rays actually meet at a point, that is called as the real one. Now let us see the kind of a principal focus formed in convex mirror. Principal focus and focal length of a convex mirror, students. Okay. Now you see here, let me write the definition here. The principal focus. The principal focus of a convex mirror is a point on its principal axis from which a beam of a light rays initially parallel to the axis appears to diverge after being reflected from convex mirror. So the principal focus of a convex mirror is a point on the principal axis from which, when a beam of a light, which was initially when it was a parallel beam of a light, diverges or it appears to diverges meet at a point after being reflected from the convex mirror. So this is what? This is the definition of the principal focus of a convex mirror. Okay, so focus of a mirror is a point on the principal axis from which a beam of a light, which was initially it was a parallel beam of light, but it diverges, or it appears to get diverges. Now let me explain you with the help of the diagram. So this was the definition. I hope you have understood it. So you can see here, students, this is what this is the convex mirror. Okay, convex mirror. Now this is a principal axis. Principal axis. Now what happened? This is what? This is the pole, which is represented by P. Then here the principal axis, you know that it do not pass this through behind to that of the mirror. This is the polished surface, but it seems that the light rays are also going to this side. So if suppose, students, this is the center of curvature. Okay, if it is the center of curvature. Now what happened? When a beam of a ray of a light falls on the surface of that of the convex mirror, then what happened? It get reflected back. A ray of light also coming from the principal axis get reflected back by the same path. Okay, it get reflected back. Now you can see here that instead of meeting at a point, it gets reflected back. So we can do here, student, it appears, actually it gets reflected back. So it seems that somewhere behind the mirror, they have meet at the point of the principal axis, and then they get diverged. So if we will stretch the point, so you can see here that the rays are actually not meeting at a point, but they appears that they have met at a point somewhere behind that of the mirror. So that is the principal axis. You can take the another diverged form of a ray, student, doesn't matter if you have taken another one, that will also get reflected and finally they meet at a point here. So you can see here that the parallel beam of a light which is coming and get diverged into the different direction. Somewhere they had meet at a point on the principal axis and form focus. So this is the principal focus formed in the convex mirror. Now this is what, student? What kind of a mirror it is? It is a convex mirror, since it is responsible in diverging the ray of a light which is falling on its surface. So we will call it as a convex mirror or diverging mirror. Convex mirror or diverging mirror. Now all of them meet at a point and the formation of a focus, which is also called as the capital F, represented by capital F. What kind of a focus is formed here? So this focus is not a real one, but it is a virtual. So principal focus is virtual in convex Principal focus is virtual in case of a convex mirror here, students. What is the focal length? Again the same thing. Focal length is the distance from that of the pole to the mirror. That is called as the focal length. Okay. Again, this is also represented by small f. Okay. So, the focus of the convex mirror is behind the mirror, is situated behind the mirror. So this is the principal focus of that of the concave and convex mirror. So I hope you have understood that how the principal focus is formed in the concave or convex mirror, that is in both of the spherical mirror. Now let me tell you a relationship between focus focal length and relationship between focal length and radius of curvature. Radius of curvature and focal length. Relationship between radius of curvature and focal length. So, the focal length of a spherical mirror is equals to, spherical mirror can be anything concave or convex, both, is equals to half of the radius of curvature. Half of the radius of curvature. So we can represent it as small f, that is the focal length, and that is equals to half of the radius of curvature. So radius of curvature is represented by capital R divided by 2. So small f, that is focal length, of the mirror, R is the radius of curvature. Okay, so F is the focal length and R is the radius. This is quite an important one, student, because many times the question has been asked that if focal length is given and radius of curvature you have to find, or radius of curvature is there and focal length you have to find. So this we can rearrange and also write is R is equals to 2F. Okay. Now before we go further, let me solve a one question or two questions which is related to this relationship. So if the question is, quite easy questions are there, students. So question is that the focal length of a spherical mirror of radius of curvature radius of curvature 30 centimeter is 30 centimeter is. So you can see here the focal length is given, students. So The focal length is, we have to find it, and the radius of curvature is given. So R is 30 centimeter and we have to find the F. Obviously very easy. We can write it. This is the formula. Remember that always before solving the numericals, at least you should write the formula on what basis you have calculated, you have find the answer. So focal length will be equals to 30 upon 2. This will help in giving, that is answer will be 15 centimeters. So the focal length is equals to 15 centimeter. Okay. The question is, if suppose that the focal length is given. This is one kind of a question. If instead of that of the radius of curvature, question is that the focal length of a spherical mirror is 12.5 centimeter. Then its radius of curvature is 12.5 centimeter. Then its radius of curvature will be So here in this question, students, what are the things which is given? Focal length is given. So small f, which is represented by 12.5 centimeter. This is already given. What we have to find? We have to find the radius of curvature. So we know the formula, f is equals to r by 2, or we can rearrange and write it like r is equals to 2 into f. So r we have to find and f is already given. So 2 into 12.5 centimeter. So this will be equals to 25 centimeter. So the answer will be 25 centimeter. So these kind of questions will be asked related to this formula, students. I hope you are able to solve such kind of questions. So this is about some important thing which is related to the spherical mirror. Moving on, and before we go and try to understand the ray diagram, there are some rules which is very important to understand for obtaining the images, whether it is a concave or that of a convex mirror. So we will start with the first one, and that is the rule which is used to obtain the image formed on a concave mirror. We will start with the concave mirror, students. So let us write here the rules for obtaining images formed by concave mirror. It's quite important because it is the rules which is important when we will start that of the ray diagram, students. Okay. Now let us see what is the first. So the first rule is, before we go, I'll tell you here one thing, that the image which is formed, the image is formed at the point where at least two reflected rays intersect or appears to meet or appears to intersect. So image is only formed. I told you about this before also, but remember that the image is only formed when there will be intersection. At least for intersection, you know that the two rays must be there. Other rays can also be happen, But if the image have to form at least, because one ray will not going to form the image. It is the intersection of the rays will help in the formation of image. And for intersection, at least we need 2 rays. That is why it is given that image is formed at a point, at a particular point, at any point. It needs at least 2 reflected rays. So when the 2 reflected rays, they intersect, they meet at a point, then we will say that the image is formed. Now we will move on and we will see that what is the rule. Looking at the rule, so the first rule is, that is, a ray of a light which is parallel to the principal axis of a concave mirror passes through its focus after reflection from the mirror. See what is given here. When a ray of a light which is parallel to the principal axis of a concave mirror passes through the focus after reflection. Remember that. We have already seen this, but again I am telling you that when a parallel beam of a light falls on the surface of mirror, it will always get reflected back through the focus. Okay, so whenever a diagram is there, I hope you have understood this. I am reading it again for you people. That is, a ray of light parallel to the principal axis passes through the focus after reflection. So this we can understand it with the help of a diagram. So the diagram is, that is, this is what, student? This is a concave mirror. This is the polished surface. This is a principal axis which passes through it. This is the pole. This is the center of curvature, and if this is the focus. What happened if suppose a parallel beam of a light is there which is parallel to that of the principal axis, falls on the surface of that of the concave mirror. So after reflection, it will passes through that of the focus. Remember, it can be any. If it is moving from this side, suppose instead of this beam of a light, if you will take a beam of a light from this side, so this one also after reflection passes through that of the principal focus. Okay, even after reflection, it will also passes through that of the principal focus, students. Okay, so we can say here, that is, a beam of a light when it falls on the surface of that of the mirror, it will passes through that of the principal focus, student. So this is what, this is the first rule of that of the concave mirror. Second rule is, that is, a ray of light passing through the center of curvature is reflected back is reflected back along the same path. This is what, student? This is the second rule of a concave mirror.